This is Sneaker Gears. My name is Levi, and welcome to a performance review of a new brand here on the channel, but one that's been around for a couple years, and that's crossover culture. Alright, if you're new to the channel, thank you for joining us. Today we're going to be tackling a new shoe that took me completely by surprise. I like to get things that are more technical. So usually when a new brand comes out, and this is not a new brand per se, they've been around for a few years. I did check on their Instagram and their first pick was from 2020, but I know they're more than a year old. I want to say at least 2 or 3 years. First few shoes got decent reviews on, say, like Wear Testers, but this is the first time they've had an all-new foam. Foam is where a lot of the technology, a lot of the research and engineering comes from to get an actual performance shoe. Anybody can make a shoe, but if you don't have the cushioning to back it up and to tweak or engineer how that brand wants it, it's just a regular shoe you can play basketball in. And honestly, these guys trying to say they can play in Timberlands or sandals, you can play in whatever you want. But if you're looking to have a high performance shoe that's going to give you confidence on court, that's going to help you feel better and perform better, that cushion, that traction, the research, the engineering that goes into it makes a big difference. So I actually waited for this shoe. I believe this is called the Menace. This is like their space gray colorway. This is the high top. They do have a low top version, or I believe this is the Mayhem. The Menace is the low top version. The biggest difference, and we'll jump right into fit, is going to be this actually has an internal booty system. Hopefully you guys can see here. So if I pull this down, this actually completely runs the full length of the shoe, so your foot is encased in kind of a sock, and then you have the exterior, which leads to a really supportive upper. Now this is a shoe I was wearing when I was playing against, say, like the KD14, and what's really awesome about this shoe is on the rand for lateral and medial support, and we're not talking about support yet, it does actually have real leather. If you guys can see that there, hopefully it focuses. So this leather bit goes on the side, on the medial, on the lateral. 1, it feels really nice. 2, has a little Jordan 7 vibe going to it, but it just has these nice textures all around the shoe. The materials just feel really premium. Even the majority of the upper, let's see if it focuses here, this material is just immediately able to be broken in, is flexible, has just a little bit of stretch, but still really highly contained. I was super impressed with the materials and the fit of this shoe, which is shocking. Now, the low top does not have that inner booty. The low top is just that material, which is that kind of that outer shell, which is really almost, and you can almost see through. Hopefully this focuses in. You can see my finger right here. So this is a really light, translucent upper with the backing. So when you take out that backing, it totally changed the fit. I was able to do a 13 on this, and the width was just right, maybe a little long, but I actually bought mine from Hibbett Sports. I'll leave a link below. You could also get this directly from Crossover Culture. They did have a 12.5 that was sold out or just not available. I don't think I could do a 12, especially on this one, the way that booty fits around you. So if you're a wide footer, you're definitely going to have to go up that half size, if not full size. But because of that booty, because of the laces on this, I still found a really nice fit. Now, mind you, this is a stretchy kind of upper tongue. So if you do have a high instep or thicker foot around the ankle area, you may have some issues just getting it on. Once it's on, I think you're going to be good. Now, to the low top, the Snow Patrol colorway, that one, because it doesn't have the inner booty, the size 13 felt huge. Again, I couldn't do a 12.5 because it's not available, and if I did a 12, it just felt really narrow. Like the 13 was just wide enough. So on that shoe, if you have a more normal or narrow foot, go with the low top and you may have a better fit, because that's going to be more material right against your skin versus having this extra inner booty. So very different fit between the highs and the lows. It's not just the materials and the cut. Now, as far as the support, again, this, because it has that additional material, it just feels like you're completely being hugged, locked in, pulled into the heel cup. I can't really talk about the performance of the lows just because I couldn't get a good fit. They were huge on me, and which was funny because this actually fits really nicely. So hopefully I didn't get kind of a manufacturing error where you have just two different shoes that fit drastically different. But again, if you're a narrow footer or normal footer, maybe the low tops will fit better. As a wide footer, again, even going up to that size 13, I felt really good with this. Really enjoyed the fit and the materials. Truly shocked. Literally, this was something that with the raw material stands up against something like the Curry 8s with the Black History Months with that suede, against anything from Nike with their knits and plastic uppers. This is just a nice throwback. It actually reminds me of a lot of the first crazy explosives, and I'll put some b-roll here of it. Those all white upper, those were actually the Swaggy P versions, but those actually had an inner booty that fit completely different, and these actually reminded me of them. Down to the support, first off, you have a nice flat base. Now there is a little curve up here, but you feel really solid, really planted. As far as lockdown, crazy. You are completely in the shoe. It does have a very minor heel cup, and you can actually see it right here. If you can see a little bit of that white, that part is part of the plastic heel cup that's here. Not hugely rigid, but because you have that heel cup, you have this material on the outside, and then you have this material here. It gives a really structured back portion that you're pulled down into. So lockdown is fantastic. Now, as far as the lateral containment, again, because you have these multiple layers, this really reminds me of a shoe like from the 90s, and it was just shockingly good. Again, compared to something like the KD14 I'll have a review on, way better support, more planted than what we've been seeing. The cushion on this, and we'll jump into in a second, I actually had these up against like something like the LeBron 18. Again, on the LeBron 18, on the BB NXT, like what we have here, this is something that you have way more support than anything it stacks up against on the cushion side, which is, I guess, what we'll jump into right now. Guys, let me take a time out here just to tell you, if you're interested in this shirt, this is the Chicago Sneaker Gear shirt. This is available on the website, sneakergears.com. Please check it out, support this channel. There will be links below. I will be coming out with different shirts for a lot of my followers around the world. Definitely want to do a Filipino flag for all my Pinoys out there, as well as have different flags for different countries, different cities, where you're going to have the Sneaker Gears logo, but you're going to be able to represent your country and your city. So really excited. Let me know where you're from down in the comments below, what you want to see Sneaker Gear shirt with. I do have some t-shirts and some sweaters, so guys, support the channel, click the link below, and let's get back right into it. Talking about the cushion, this is what crossover culture is calling Twitchfoam. I actually thought it was a completely different name on some of my Instagram posts, and I asked them a few questions. This cushion, combined with this insole, I was shocked how good it was. I was shocked. I actually brought with me, when I first tested these, the Embiid ones, which actually felt decent in store, as well as I think the Curry 8s. This has 3 times the cushion of either of those, and it really put me back. And I actually said, well, let me take this insole off, because sometimes this is going to give you a perceived level of step-in comfort where you can walk in this, but this actually has some density to it where there's some rebound. This is a really nice insole, and I'm gonna have a video on that. This is one of the better insoles I've seen out of any company. So shout out to Crossover Culture for doing something really impressive on the details of the shoe. I put this insole in the Joel Embiid, the Embiid one, it made a huge difference on that. It needed more cushion. I put that insole, which is really just nothing, just this super thin, I don't even think it was ortholite, maybe it is, into this one because I really wanted to see what the cushion was without that increased step and comfort. And it was shockingly good. This is going to be up there with my top 5 most cushioned shoes of 2021. So just to give you a heads up, this is probably one of the top 5 most cushioned shoes Nike's ever done. And when I say most cushion, I don't mean the best cushion. I mean the bounciest, the best balanced. There's different kinds. I just mean the most cushion. If you're just getting back into hooping, if you're a bigger guy, if you just want something to protect your knees, you cannot go wrong with the BBNXT. And this comes with another insole that is ridiculous that works on a lot of other shoes. I'll show you guys here. This is a full React insole that really can change how a shoe plays. This is potentially better, but again, both are amazing. So you have that step-in comfort. This is along those lines, guys. This is $180 triple stacked React foam with Zoom Air stacks in the forefoot, and this Twitchfoam, just full length, is ridiculously good. It is just, I shouldn't say just, it's soft. It's a soft foam you get in there, and you start to run it, it's bouncy. It has a good bounce. It's not super bouncy. It's not a Zoom Air, all right? But it has a good amount of bounce to it, a softness to it. And then you put in the insole back in, because I wanted to test and see if the foam is actually as good as it feels. And you have an incredible setup that stacks up against anything on the market. And right now, if you're looking for a max cushion shoe, you have Peak Brown with their Tai Chi cushioning. You have Wave Wade. This is kind of just a step below. I haven't tried the 9s. Would love to have a connection. If you guys know where I can get a pair, let me know. Adidas isn't even close with theirs. Theirs is really well balanced, but it's nothing max cushion. Same thing with Under Armour, nothing max cushion, but they are getting there with a couple of their shoes, how reviews out. And then you have Crossover Culture here out of nowhere with an awesome setup. If you're looking for a max cushion shoe, you don't want to break the bank. I believe these were 120 or 130. I'll have links below, both to Crossover Culture and Hibbett Sports. And I couldn't be more shocked, guys. This is definitely going to be the top 5. There's been some really good shoes this year if you're talking about max cushion, between the Jordan 35, GT Cuts, LeBron 18, those. This pair, the Tai Chi. So I'm going to have to really rank how I feel about all of those. Not to mention the Zion 1, which are incredible. The PG5s, if you actually modify them. So there's a lot of really good high cushion shoes that I've been able to enjoy, and just if I have a good fit, I can enjoy them even more. So obviously, as a wide footer, hopefully you guys feel my pain. I felt throughout the years, like every other year I get some really good shoes, or maybe every 3 years. And this is just one of those years. I'm getting a lot of shoes that just fit my foot really well. And I think that bodes well for a lot of my wide foot guys out there and ladies, where you're able to find something that fits you great. Now you can actually hone in what kind of cushion you want, how much support you want. But obviously, as Nightwing says, the most important part, how's the traction? All right, so the traction is another part that truly surprised me. And I say that because I was testing out these. I have a full review. This is the Cosmic Unity. And this had a traction I thought that was going to be bonkers. And it ended up being good. Like, just good. Not amazing, but still really good and countable. Threw these on there, and all of a sudden, I literally almost fell because I stopped so hard. I'm like, are you kidding me? Are these that good? Put these, again, I was wearing my LeBron 18s, blew those out of the water. All right, so we got to bring the big dogs. All right, we're bringing out the PG5s, we're bringing out the Curry 8s, and this was almost up to that par on almost every court I was on. There was 2 courts where I had to do some wiping, but this is Hall of Fame. This traction is unbelievable. Wear testers, I believe Duke or one of the guys had the pair, and he was saying that he feels like he could walk up the side of a tree with it. Like, it just sticks like crazy. This is a wave bone traction, a wavy bone. This is something similar to what Adidas did a couple years back. The back section, as you can imagine, being clear, is not quite as good, but that front part is legit. Now, this is a really tight setup, which is why, again, some of those courts are really dusty. It still was good. It was consistent. All right, you never slipped, but I had to wipe just to get that extra bite. But on pretty much every other court, on I think 4 of the 5 courts I played on, this was amazing. All right, so you have a shoe with amazing materials. You have a shoe with really good fit. Now, again, know the parameters of what kind of foot you have and how that's going to work for you. But size 13 for my wide foot, which I'm generally a 12.5 in majority of shoes, 12 wide in running shoes, did a 13 of this, and I was still happy even with that little extra space because of that inner booty. So hopefully that helps you guys narrow it down for yourselves. Cushion, unbelievable. Support, way better than I thought, because the materials seem really thin and there's not much there, but they just work together. And then you have a traction that bites. This is up there with, I would say, my, I don't know, top 3 or top 5 standard shoes. And what I mean by that is shoes that set a standard that if shoe is going to cost more or have a signature name behind it, it needs to do something better or special. And in that tier, and I'm gonna have a giveaway here, next couple videos coming out, or not a giveaway, but kind of a sneak peek. You have the CP3 12s for $100. That shoe did way more than what it's supposed to do. All right, maybe it was a 13, but it was his last shoe that he's still wearing right now. You have the new Under Armour Spawn 3s. That took me by surprise. That was a $100 shoe. I got it way cheaper than that. That shoe is ridiculous, especially for what you're getting. And now you have the crossover culture. And what I mean, for the price, for what you're buying, you really have to think, okay, why am I going to spend more? What is special about those other shoes? And there are some other shoes that you're going to spend more that are worth it. Or they're shoes that are just going to give you either more traction or a lighter shoe or a better cushion or a bouncy cushion, where at least you know what you're spending your money on. But these 3 set a standard on just amazing shoes you can get for really good value. I was able to get mine at 25% off at Hibbett. So essentially that came down to about $100, which this is worth every penny. And this is worth way more than a majority of the Nikes out there, and I'll have reviews on those, and we'll have a full comparison on that. But I would love to hear your thoughts on what do you want this stacked up against? What do you think is comparable? Top of my head, I'm thinking I want to see how these are against the Zion 1s. I want to play in them a little bit more because the cushion on those is unbelievable, and along the same lines. How does it stack up against something like the Cosmic Unity, which is just a really good all-around shoe? And again, that's something that is available on discount and getting cheaper. This has been a shockingly good shoe. Crossover Culture, they didn't pay for this, they didn't sponsor this, but shout out to them. But guys, if you want to support the channel, buy the shirts. Let me know what you guys want to see. Hopefully this video helped you out, and some of you guys can get some different brands of what you normally get and are really going to be surprised just like me. Guys, this is Levi with Sneaker Ears. Really appreciate you, and I'll come at you later.